How many people here have ever heard me speak at an event or online or anything? Raise your hands, just curious. So maybe a third. How many people have not ever heard me speak on stage? Okay, that's a lot. How many people won't raise their hand no matter what I say? Right? That's the rest of you. So I guess what I'll do is I'll introduce about 3/4 of the room probably has never heard me before. I'll introduce myself, hang with you guys. I brought, $500, so I'll give away some money throughout. So I might quiz you, probably no more rushing the stage. But we'll have some fun with it. And, I'm just here to serve value. I don't have anything for sale. In fact, I'm going to be giving you guys money. It's going to be the opposite. You got to sell me on why you should get the $100. And if that's fun, I guess we might even give away more. Nothing to sell. I just want to tell you a story with the hope to be able to inspire you. That's it. I just want to be able to inspire you. In the last 3 years, I have literally had to start over and build back up my business and get a business up to $10 million a year. From 3 years ago, hitting a very low point of depression. So is anybody in here interested in if I tell a story of how I went from literally 3 years ago, depressed, not even wanting to leave my house, to building a $10 million a year business? Anybody interested in hearing that? It's not easy. It's not fast. This is not get rich quick. This is what you call hustle. Hustle and heart and determination. That's all it is. I'll tell a lot of my story. The part I want to tell you about is what happened 3 years ago. I've got 2 children. Now they are 3 years old and 5 years old, right? 2 boys. 3 years ago, my oldest son, he was 2 years old at the time, he got diagnosed with autism. And it was a severe type situation that happened. So imagine, first of all, if you're a dad, is there any dads or moms in the room, right? So, and also another question, it's Autism Awareness Month actually this month, so it's actually timely. Does anybody in here, have you ever known somebody with autism or have somebody in family with autism, anything like that? Look around, this is very big. And there's not necessarily a cure out there for this. I mean, it's confusing. And my son started going through a lot of changes when he was only 2 years old. The first thing was he lost all of his speech, stopped talking. Now, as a father, when a child is around 2 years old, they start gaining all the words. It's like one of the most exciting times ever, right? Your kid's talking, they're walking, they're talking. And he went from like 20 or 30 words that he had just learned to nothing, all in about a week. The next thing that happened was he lost his focus. He would not look me in the eyes or anybody in the eyes at all. If you try to look him in the eyes, he would dart away, completely start darting away. Now, some of you that understand autism, you're already starting to see the signs, right? The other thing that happened was he would stop playing with other children. If you took him to a daycare, he would go in the corner and want to be by himself and would be nervous around other children. He started displaying patterns of OCD, really weird kind of patterns with stuffed animals and doing things. And one of the things that really got me looking into this was when we were at a friend's house and they dropped a massive pot out of their cupboards and it hit the ground and it was like an explosion. The whole house freaked out. He was sitting 10 feet away from it and didn't even flinch. And I thought to myself, did he just go deaf? Did he completely go deaf too? It was crazy. Now, I didn't know what to do. So the first thing I did was I went to the internet and I started researching. Like, what are these signs? Now, what I came across was a lot of signs of autism. So I went through a self-assessment. He scored really high, extreme autism. I took him to a doctor and they basically told him, your son is severely autistic. It's happening really fast. He's 2 years old. And our advice to you is to get really aggressive right now. While they're 2 to 3 years old, they said the good news is you've identified this earlier than most parents have. So their brain is right now their mind is a sponge. You've identified this. If you focus on it, there's a good chance to be able to help him to be at least functioning, high functioning. And if you miss this window, this could be big. So what I did was I basically hired the best of the best that I could. We got as much care as we could. I mean, it was started at $5,000 a month and then $10,000 a month. It's crazy how much this care out there is. Because if you go the government way, if anybody's ever relied on government services, they're not the fastest, right? It's like meetings and meetings and meetings and paperwork and paperwork. I just went and hired people full-time in my house doing behavioral stuff and just trying to work on him. And about 9 months later, he had enough progress where he became a high-functioning autistic child, which is, it still sounds crazy, but that is a dramatic difference. In 9 months, he was able to gain back his speech. He was able to gain back some social skills, some behavior skills, being able to participate. We were able to get him into a special needs school to be able to be with other kids. And those 9 months, I'm going to be honest with you, those shook me up. Those 9 months shook me up. I literally left all my businesses. I left everything. I didn't care about money. I didn't care about anything. I left everything. As embarrassing as it is, I got down to my last $10,000 in savings, and I sat there, and I know to some of you, hey, $10,000 in savings is still good. I bet there's some people in here that's still good. But I got down to that last amount of money, and I said, this is it. This is fight or flight. I got to do something, and I got to do it right now. So I thought, what do I want to do? My background was doing things like network marketing, which takes a long time to build up, and who knows if a company will even be around, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do network marketing. I have a background in real estate investing, but the market, is crazy. And that takes forever. I had a background in all these things, but nothing really fit for what I wanted to do. So I said, you know what? I'm going to just go completely different. And Alex Becker just talked about mentorship. What I did was I went and sought out mentorship. I went and met with a guy who literally had made $50 million in business, in internet marketing. $50 million. I sought out the best of the best. And I paid $2,000 to go to that event. In fact, Alex Becker was at that event. That was in DC a couple of, 2.5 years ago or something like that. And I went to this event and I sought out this person and I said, here's my situation. What would you recommend for someone like me? And I'm telling you, even at an event like this, one conversation in 15 minutes with somebody you don't even know right now could absolutely redefine your life. And that's exactly what happened. I was open-minded to getting coached and getting mentored by somebody. I was open-minded to ideas. They shared the right thing with me at the right time. And I decided to do it different. I decided instead of taking this same old path of just being like a salesperson or a sales rep or doing something basic, I wanted to go big. I wanted to literally take massive action. And from that moment, so after about 9 months of being depressed and getting out of it, getting down to my last amount of money, struggling, no real assets, no anything, going, how did I get here? And not even wanting to work. Has anybody here ever been, I don't know if you could relate, has anybody ever been depressed? Is it something that, am I the only one, or is it's hard to admit maybe? I've gone through it. This was a 9-month phase of depression for me. So what I did was I decided to get an office this time. I decided instead of working at home, I got to get out of the house, decided to get an office, went and got an office, decided to hire employees and take a risk, and decided to get into doing some client work. And I formed like a little agency, and I said, we'll do some client work, and we'll take on some large contracts. And I was able to scale from literally my last $10,000 to several $100,000 through client work, which was pretty awesome. But then I thought, you know what? What can I do to go even bigger? Then I got into the world of product launches, where you can learn something, do it yourself, and then teach it to others. There's many that will gladly come on board. So I started releasing courses teaching what I knew. But I did something very different. Instead of being super advanced, I said, you know what the biggest market is out there? Beginners. Newbies, people wanting to learn the basics of how to get started. That was the beginner market, right? So what I did was I focused on very beginner training, and I started with courses like Dark Post Profits, a course that was a beginner's guide to Facebook advertising. And all it did was it taught the very basics, how to set up a Facebook ads account. Assuming I built the course as if my mom was going to take it. How to set up a Facebook ads account, how to place your first ad, what is the terminology, what are all these things. And even though it was super simple and very inexpensive, that course lit up and went on fire. You'd never believe it. It was very simplistic. I learned Facebook advertising, I did it, and then I taught it. But I taught it in a way that it could actually be understood and people could take action on it. That course did over 5,000 sales, over $500,000 in revenue, and I was back on the map. I had built myself out of this place where I was on my last limbs. I had built myself up and went back up. And I don't know if anybody in here has used Dark Post. Has anybody in here ever taken one of my Facebook ads courses? Several of you guys? Was it pretty good? I mean, pretty straightforward, right? Straightforward stuff. It was not complicated. See, one of the first things that I had to do was I had to get out of my own way. I had to literally get out of my own way. I wanted to teach the most advanced strategies possible. But you know what the problem is? Is that most people don't even understand the basic terminology, and if they don't get the foundation of it, then how on earth are they going to understand the advanced stuff? Like, I don't know if you can relate. Have you ever felt like There's so much information out there, where do I even get started? Has anybody ever felt that way? Analysis paralysis, like you attend webinar after webinar after webinar, but it just feels like 6 months has gone by and you still haven't taken action. So what I wanted to do was I looked at the industry and thought, it's confusing out there. It's extremely confusing. There's information everywhere. There still is. Especially in internet marketing, there's 100 different paths right now that you could take to make money online. And they're all exciting. So which one do? You know what we all do? We try to do them all. So we do this strategy, this strategy, this strategy, this strategy. You go in like a full circle. You get back here. You're like, man, I want to do this one again. But you never have actually gotten anywhere. It's like running around a tree all day and never getting anywhere, right? That's what happened. So I started launching these courses. And at first, they were doing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then these courses started doing millions of dollars, literally millions of dollars in sales. And so what I learned was I thought, if there was a way to be able to teach people the foundations, the actual true foundations of how to, like the basics, what is the terminology, even internet marketing basics. You give them the basic foundation, like a house built on a sturdy foundation, then you teach them everything else, people actually learn. My students started coming to me making their first $1,000 in a single month. And I would reward them for that. If you've made $1,000 in a single month, you've done more than 99% of people out there. The odds are crazy. You know, 99% of people that want to make money online don't make money online. It's true. Go look and go find any statistic to outprove that. Because everybody's looking for extra income, and the information's readily available, but nobody takes action. But it's not their fault, and it's not your fault. The reason people don't take action is because it's confusing, it's overwhelming, it's information overload. And honestly, I'm not even perfect at that. You know, my information can be information overload. Because what happens is you learn so much, you just become a fire hose of information when you train. So all the best speakers and presenters out there, they know so much information, it's hard to laser it in and dial it in and make it accessible for you in a way you could learn it. So I developed this passion. I just got this passion for helping beginners. And I basically switched my whole business. Instead of super advanced stuff, just helping the masses, helping that 99% move to that 1%, where they at least make their first $1,000 in a single month. Then their first $5,000 in a month. Then their first $10,000. Not to get rich quick, not to think you're going to make $1 million next month, but to grow and scale that business. To scale that business to $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. And to constantly, along the way, you have to train your mind to believe that you're capable of more. Every single step along the way where I hit a big income barrier, I got stuck there. I hit a plateau. When I first hit $10,000 a month, it was the biggest breakthrough in my entire life. But then I got stuck at $10,000 a month. Now, some of you might be thinking, that's a good place to get stuck, right? But it's not. Getting stuck is never good, no matter what spot it's at, whether it's 1,000 or 1,000,000. And I had to break through and believe that I can make more than $10,000 in a month. Then I had my first $50,000 in a single month, and it was crazy, right? Then I had my first $100,000, and I'm going to tell you this story in a minute. But it was crazy. It just kept going and kept growing. It's amazing when you can learn to keep breaking through step by step. So I went from a series, I went from a place of being so depressed, just right here, depressed, and knowing that over there, if I could just lift myself out of this funk and get over there, that I could change it. But you know what I needed to do? I needed to get myself, first of all, out of this. So instead of working in the same environment, change the environment. The very first thing I did, change the environment. Instead of working at a home where I had that depression in the air and the vibe, I went and got an office. It was really inexpensive. There's offices for like $500, $1,000. I was surprised at how inexpensive offices were. I never thought about it. So I just got an office, just leaving the house and going in. Now that I've left the house, now it's all about time. We only have a certain amount of hours in the day, right? So if I've got children that I've got to attend to, if I've got life, social life, passions, hobbies, there's only a certain amount of time I can put into work. So what I did was I got very focused. In my office, every single day, I'm going to work for 8 hours, and I'm only going to focus on income-producing activities. And if you guys want a quick little note on what I did, maybe it'll work for you, here's exactly what I focused on. In internet marketing, I call these IPAs, income producing activities. Here they are. I call them the 3 C's of online marketing. I 8 hours a day, I was effective as long as I was doing these 3 things. 1, create traffic. It's a C word. The first C is create. I would be creating traffic. As long as I was creating traffic to something, then I was being effective. The second C word is capture leads. So the second one's capture. As long as traffic would come in, as long as I was capturing leads and building my list, then I was going to be making money. And the third and most important C was convert, converting sales. So what I would do is I would create, capture, convert. And that's all I would do with 8 hours per day. If I was doing something else, I wouldn't even count it. If I was reading a book, I wasn't creating traffic, capturing leads, or converting sales. I was just growing my mind. So I will do that in after hours. If I was on a conference call or on a webinar, I was learning a new skill, very important, but that wasn't taking action on this skill. So I wouldn't count that. Create traffic, capture leads, convert sales. Those are my income producing activities, and it started going like crazy, you guys. I started my list, literally the first month just built like a few hundred people, then added next month was like 1,000, then started building it up. Within 14 months, I built that list to 130,000 people. And now that list is so powerful that if somebody had an affiliate promotion and I promote it just 14 months ago, if I promote an affiliate promotion, I could generally finish like first place in a contest. From 14 months ago, just starting that new list, right? Crazy. Just in the last 10 days alone, I promoted an amazing community. If anybody in here an OMG? Anybody in OMGers in here? I just promoted an OMG promotion and literally like $1.8 million in sales in 10 days on that promotion, right? Averaging now a couple $1 million a month. This is gonna be the first year that I think I'm gonna fly past $10 million in a year. It just goes and goes and goes. So now I'm lifting the ceiling going, how can I get to 100 million? And then you just break yourself out of that mindset and go, how can I go after the big B? And you just do it. But in order to get there, you have to start here. Change your environment. Do something new. Don't just saturate yourself in the confusion. There's confusion out there, and it's messing us up. You got to get yourself out of there, get into something good, where you get focused, you get clarity, get education that's taught in a way that it's literally step by step by step showing you how to succeed. And you follow steps, you follow patterns. Then you go over here and you start having your victories. $1,000 in a single month. If there's another tip I want to give you. Money is just an idea, okay? A lot of people feel like they have lack of money. You never have lack of money. Anybody in here right now could have $10,000 in the next 30 days if you didn't treat it like money. If you treated it like an idea, you're just one idea away from that. Right? When you treat it like money, you're putting like a finite belief on it. You're going, well, my whole life I've never done that. My parents don't do that. My friends don't do that. There's all of these beliefs that are going to block you. But if you treat money like an idea, then ideas, all you got to do is just get your creative mind working. You're just one creative idea away from $10,000 or $100,000. So that's all I did. I started saying, instead of saying, I can't do this, I can't afford this, I started saying, how can I? How can I afford this? You know, like you saw the Morrison brothers up here, Anthony and Adrian. Did they do a phenomenal job with their teaching, you guys? It was awesome. I was in the back watching them, right? And then they offered this amazing deal, and I'm going, come on, man, I just got that for like full price. You guys get this killer deal, but that's okay. We'll let them do that. But you guys got this amazing deal now. See, but then a lot of people go, man, I wish I could do that, but I don't have the money. No, you don't have the idea. That's all. You're one idea away. You know, I had somebody who was flat broke and $5,000 that they had to come up with or they were going to be homeless. You know what they did? They literally found somebody that needed a new website, found somebody that's good at designing websites, brokered the deal and made $5,000. Solved the problem. That's creating money out of thin air. That's an idea. That's all he did. They're like, you need something, you know how to solve that problem, just insert myself, let the money hit off my chest and fall into my pockets. Like, that's easy, right? But what happens is our preconceived ideas mess us up. And I had to go through this myself, you guys. I have some preconceived ideas that I carried with me my whole life that messed me up. One of those was my parents got divorced at an early age. I ended up living mostly with my mom. And when we did, I grew up on welfare, food stamps, Section 8 housing, where the government subsidizes our housing, right? That was a situation that I grew up in. So what happened was I didn't have anybody around me that was successful. You know, your income is the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. You know, your lifestyle's the average. That meant I was going to be dead or in jail, you know? Those were the 5 people I was hanging out with the most, were just all these kids that were in broken families in the bad part of town. That's the average income, right? And what happened was, because of this association and everything, I ended up not succeeding in the school system. I was saying, how is the school system going to help a guy like me? So you know what? Crazy as it is, I dropped out of school. I dropped out of high school. The furthest I ever got was I graduated 9th grade. But I never even went back to high school. To this day, I don't even have a GED or a high school diploma. So here I am, this guy who's dropped out of high school, and you know why? Because as an entrepreneur, if you guys are internet marketers, right? How much internet marketing do they teach in high school or college? None. They don't teach it. So we're misfits. We're like, where's our education? It doesn't exist out there. Now, I'm not knocking on school. Anytime you can learn. See, I wasn't against learning. The stuff I wanted to learn wasn't there. I had to go teach it to myself. I had to go to the library and go wait in line to go use a computer so I could teach myself internet marketing, website design, SEO, stuff like that, because it didn't exist. So what happens is, it's confusing out there. The information's crazy. It doesn't exist. And a guy like me becomes a misfit, drops out of school, no hope, no chance whatsoever, except for the world of entrepreneurship. Once you become an entrepreneur, you're your own boss. So you know what? You write up your resume, says, I dropped out of school, I got no skills, no nothing. Then you give yourself a resume and go, you're hired, right? You can hire yourself. It doesn't matter about your background. So what happened was, as an entrepreneur, it was exciting, but I went through ups and downs. Has anybody ever experienced the ups and downs of entrepreneurship? Up and then down, and the downs are really, really low. The highs you think are going to last forever. Nothing can stop me, right? And then you come down crashing again. You go through this up and down wave. We've all been there. And in these ups and downs waves, it was an emotional roller coaster for me. I got to the point where I had literally, in one of my downs, I had lost everything. I got to the point, this was 2006, the first half of 2006. Check out how bad this got. Okay, I had just made 6 figures the year before, and then here I am, had burned through all my money, no money. My bank account was negative by $200. Every little $5 transaction had this $30 overdraft on it. So if I went to Taco Bell and got a burrito, it's a $35 burrito. You know what I'm saying? Some of you can probably relate to that, right? And I didn't care, because I'm like, it's negative. I'm just going to probably let this bank account go. I don't even know how they're charging my debit card, but go for it. I'm the guy who was so broke, I'd go to the ATM with a negative bank account and just try to pull out money. I'm like, if they just let me have the money, I'll pay them back one day. I was so broke. I mean, I'm telling you, I was just hustling. I had a 485 credit score. I don't even know how low they go, but I got as low as it could go pretty much. Nobody would finance nothing. I couldn't even get a cell phone in my name. I was getting evicted from an apartment, literally evicted. It was like the 13th of the month, and I was getting evicted. You guys, the lows are lows. As an entrepreneur, ups and downs and ups and downs. I have so many of these lows, but you know what? When your back's against the wall and you have that hustle and that heart and that determination, nothing can stop you. Nothing. They kept trying to stop me, but I just kept getting back up. There was a time where, when I was in Santa Cruz, California, this kid, this high school dropout, just trying to learn internet skills, I literally got to the point where I went to the thrift center and bought a $30 3-piece suit so I could just change my environment. And I would literally, no car, no transportation, I would walk around Santa Cruz like a little briefcase bag, as 20 years old, walk around Santa Cruz, a little briefcase bag like this and a little 3-piece banker suit, and just try to go into business to business to business to sell them a $500 website. And I would get shot down probably 30 out of 30 times, and then maybe the 31st person was a maybe or a yes. But I didn't care, because I was an entrepreneur. Because I knew what am I going to get, a job at a movie theater or a deli or something, or a busboy? I know, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to figure it out. And they would come and they'd be like, oh, that's a nice suit. What kind of suit is that? I had to come up with what am I going to say? This $30 suit. So I got it from the Salvation Army. So I said, oh, this is my Salvation Armani. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's all about that confidence you get yourself in. But I know when you're low, you guys, when you're low, I know how it feels. This is the analogy I want to give, and I don't know if you guys can relate to me. You guys all might be very wealthy, and I might be talking to a totally different audience, but just in case there's one of you that has ever been in a bad financial situation, it feels like you're financially dunked underwater. And it's like you're just gulping for air. It's just you're gulping for air. right? So here's on. Let me lighten this up a little bit. Let me ask a little trivia to you guys. This is trivia. I want everybody to answer, and I'm gonna give away $100 to someone too. Here's a little trivia, and nobody rush stage or anything. Okay, here's trivia. I'm gonna ask you 3 things. We're gonna see who gets this one right. Okay. How long do you think that you could live? How many days on average? Just guess. It doesn't have to be exact. How many days do you think you could live without food?
30 days.
30 days, 3 weeks. Shout it out. How long can you live without food? 30, 47, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 days. If this dude doesn't eat on this trip, he's gonna die. All right, 2 days. 17. Okay. Let's just summarize it. Weeks. We can all agree probably weeks, right? Whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, weeks. You can live weeks without food. How long can you live without water? 3, 7, 4. Shout out. Anybody want to win money? Okay, can we all agree days? We can all agree, whether it's 1 or whether it's 7. I think we saw it. So you can go weeks without food. You can go days without water. How long can you go without air and oxygen? 0. Just don't hold your breath, if you go 0.
2 minutes.
2 minutes? Who can hold their breath longer than 2 minutes? Anybody? Okay, but we can all agree minutes, right? So think about it. You can go weeks without food, days without water, and minutes without oxygen. But which one do you think about the most?
Money.
No, of those three. You think about food the most. Which one do you think about the second most? Water. How many people today really spent the time thinking about oxygen? Why? Because it's all around you. See, the problem is that if I took you and I dunked your head underwater right now, would you be thinking about food? You might be thinking about water. You'd be thinking about breathing. You'd be thinking about oxygen. So the thing is that the thing that you lack is what you focus on. And that's a problem. That's a problem for all of us. So when times get tough and you don't have money, what happens is that's all you focus on is not having money. You got to get to a point where money is like oxygen, where there's so much around you, you don't even think about it anymore. So you can focus on the things that are really important, like family, like charity, like causes. How many of us have ever had a big, audacious goal to do something with charity, and you keep pushing it off until you finally have enough money, right? It's this trap. We focus on what we don't have. And you got to change that. You got to change that. That's why when I was wearing that $30 thrift center suit, I called it my Salvation Armani, and I was proud of it. Yeah, my shoes had holes in them because I walked in dress shoes all up and down, and they had holes, and the front of it was like flapping open on my business shoes, talking to my customers. You think they looked down on my shoes and my suit? You think they want to do business with me? No, but I didn't care. Hustle, heart, determination. And I took massive action on all of it. See, that's all I want to do is I want to inspire you is that I came from this point where I grew up in this bad situation, but I learned to overcome that. I learned that my past does not have to define me. I can define myself. It doesn't matter if I dropped out of school. I can define myself. And then I went around, I tried all these different things, ups and downs and ups and downs. And when the downs were low, I just figured out how to bounce back up. I figured out how to change my mindset. And the thing is that money is just an idea. You're one idea away from greatness, right? You're one idea away from it. For me, it was that 45-minute conversation with one person all the way on the opposite side of the country who just gave me, he didn't even tell me what to do. He just gave me this sense of confidence to make my own decision. And that was really all I needed. Thousands of dollars to go across the country to just have somebody give me confidence to just trust my gut and trust my heart. That one decision right there literally transformed everything. I went from there to making millions of dollars per year instantly. It just was a light switch. It came off. Now, it's not like money just fell down from the sky. I'm hard working. I will outwork most people around me because that's one thing you're in control of. Roll up your sleeves and outwork everybody. But you also got to work smart. You got to train your creative mind to come up with ideas that you don't even know are possible. And you got to know how to be able to clear the confusion. There's this movie, I think it was, you might have to remind me, I think it was Kevin Costner. Maybe it's called The Perfect Game. It's that baseball movie. I don't know, I could be kind of wrong here. But he's a pitcher, and he learns to clear the mechanism. You guys, does anybody know what I'm talking about? What he does is he basically, when he goes up to pitch and he throws his perfect game, he tunes out the entire audience, the noise. He tunes out all of the noise, and he sits there, and all he focuses on is a clear path to that strike zone to just throw another pitch. And that's what we need to do. The biggest thing that I've seen in this rise from literally rock bottom again to generating this time millions and millions of dollars, and now I'm seeing what's possible, right? And now I'm learning to think even bigger. It's taken time. What I've learned is that the number one thing that people need, especially beginners, if you're not making $10,000 a month, this is what you need. You need clarity. You need to clear out the noise. You absolutely need to clear out the noise. So I'm about to announce something. It's only going to take me like 5 minutes. But what I did was I came up, and there's nothing for sale, so you guys are going to like that. If you guys have ever been to my was anybody at my 3C conference a couple months ago? Right? Hundreds and hundreds of people like this. I didn't even sell anything from stage. I just came up and just trained I have this passion to be able to just want to see people succeed. That's it. I just have it. Once you make money, trust me, at first it's money driven. You want to make money to secure yourself, but trust me, no amount of money can replace your own students telling me about how their lives are changed as a result of something you share with them. That will replace money every single day for you. So what I did was I came up with this vision, and I said, what if there was a way that I could put together and I could help revolutionize the internet marketing education out there? What if there was a way I could do this? And what I did at my last event a couple months ago was I had people sign NDAs, and I brought them in a room, and I shared a vision with them. And today, I'm going to share part of that vision with you, no NDAs or anything. And I'm telling you guys right now, I'm going to embark on a journey where I'm going to invest myself over $1 million of cash to start this thing and kick this thing off. I'm personally investing my time, my energy. I'm even relocating to a different part of the country to basically follow a dream and follow a passion that I've had for years. It gives me goosebumps just talking about it. Because I know people are out there and they're just, if you could just clear the noise like you're clearing the mechanism and get laser focused on the exact things to be able to build the right foundation, learn the right skills, get the right practical application, how to make money with it, in a way that you could actually retain it all. You could actually learn it and understand it so it's not noisy if you could clear the noise. And I thought to myself, this is possible. And not only is this possible, but I'm going to make this happen. So I'm declaring right here on stage with you guys a few things, and I'm going to tell you about it. In August of 2016, I'm going to hold an event. This event will have thousands of people in attendance. And I will release the first ever chance for people to be able to participate in, the first of its kind. I'm not going to give you guys the name because I don't want you guys all going and Googling. You guys are SEO experts, so I'm not going to give you all the details. You'll outrank me probably. But so I'll just make up a name for it right now, just a hypothetical working name. In August of 2016, okay, thousands of people will come to an event, and we're going to announce the first of its kind internet marketing college, where you can actually come and take classes by experts who are actually having success in the field, broken down in the way it would be taught in a school, and broken down step by step by step, where you learn the proper foundation, then you learn the actual skills, then you learn how to make money with the skills, and to a point where when you come into class, you're actually tested up front. You actually say, how much do you know about this topic? And then when you're exiting the class, you take another quick little test to see how much that you've learned. A process called ISD, Instructional System Design. This is actually the process used by every major university out there. It's the same process, but nobody uses it in the internet marketing world. Nobody uses it. Because in the internet marketing world, it's guys like me who have gained a lot of knowledge and made money, and we're a fire hose. We'll just share information, any information you want. We'll throw up all over you with our information. And it's good, but it's really not good because it adds to the confusion. I want to help clarify it all. We will have classes. People will be able to come from all over the world for just 1 week at a time, be able to take a path. Maybe they want to take the SEO path. Maybe they want to take the e-commerce path. Or maybe they want to take a path about starting up their own agency. Or maybe they want to be affiliate marketers and launch products that make millions like I've done. You will have a path that will teach you the foundations, everything. Then it will teach you the skills to be able to do that. Then it will teach you how to actually go out and make money with it. Never has this been done before. This quote-unquote internet marketing college that we'll be launching, the first ever college, will be held this year in the United States for a full week in the month of October 2016. I declare that. What's going to happen, you guys, is this is going to be the biggest powerful thing where thousands of students from even all over the world come and convene for a week, and we take individual classes. You choose your class schedule, and you can test out. So if you're not a beginner, you just test out. If you want to learn Shopify, like Adrian Morrison taught, we can help teach that. If you want to learn SEO, we could teach the fundamentals. If you want to learn how to create your own agency and do client work like I bounced back with, we'll teach you that. But it will be taught in the way that a school would teach it, but with our internet marketing twist, you know what I'm saying? Like a little fun. You know what's funny? I'm the kid who dropped out of high school, and now my biggest vision is to create my own school for internet marketing, right? This school will get thousands and thousands of students to come 1 week at a time, probably every quarter to start. And then they go home, they either work their jobs or work from home, but they actually do what they've learned. And eventually there will be opportunities if anybody in here wants to become a teacher at this school. If you're actually creating results and you're good at being able to teach people the information, there will be plenty of opportunities. This is one of the most exciting visions I've ever had. I got to a point where my own business before this can generate over $10 million a year now. So I had to raise the bar. This college, and I'm declaring this college will do hundreds of millions of dollars per year in revenue. This will be a major thing. And you will be able to remember back. When we look at this a year from now, it's going to be crazy. It's giving me chills thinking about it. But we can look back a year from now. We can say, I was there when Chris Record shared this from stage. I remember when he talked about this as a vision he was going to launch. And I challenge you, watch a year from now exactly wherever they come. And all I say is this. If you would like to be part of that experience, I don't have something you can buy. But here's what I could do. I'm going to have an NDA private event, an NDA private webinar. You can do it from home, where I'm going to go over everything. We're going to cover as many details as we can that my lawyers will let me disclose. I'm going to have a private event. I'll break down exactly what we're going to be doing for marketing and how you can make money helping me promote the college. If anybody, just curious, based on that vision, would anybody here be interested in making extra money referring people to a college like that, internet marketing college? Okay? And then you'll be able to have the opportunity, even if you wanted to be able to attend as a student. And I'll tell you, people that are on this private NDA will be hearing about things and participating in things way before anyone else, way before the general public. That's my gift here at the 10 Pillars of Wealth live event with Alex Becker. So I don't know if I had time to be able to put up a slide. I asked Mike to be able to do it. I don't know if you got it, put it up. If not, I'll give everybody a link to be able to do this. And we'll give it like 20, 30 seconds to see if they can pull it up. And if not, don't worry about it. Okay, right there. On your mobile phone right now, if you will, you can just go right. You could jot it down on your notes, but on your mobile phone right now, you can do it right from your phone. I'm going to do one more thing. Like I said, instead of selling something, I want to give money away. So here's a quick little quiz. The first person that can tell me after opting in and filling out the form, you'll be able to go to NDAtext.com with your phone. After opting in, tell me there's a confirmation page. It's going to go NDA text. You put in your phone number. The next page is a form with like 3 or 4 questions. Whatever's on the next page, the first person that can tell me on that third final page, I'll give $100 to you right now. The first person. So see how fast your thumbs are. The first person that can tell me. That's the form. What's on the page after the form?
It's your Facebook page.
Who said that?
It's your Facebook page.
Right here, $100. You guys, you have the trust system. I could pass it back. It may be only a piece of 100 by the time you get it. You have reached your limit. And if anybody else, you guys, if you guys want, there's another way that I'll be able to do it. If anybody has problems with NDAtext.com, let me give you another way to be able to make sure you can be part of this. All you have to do is send me a private message on Facebook. Even if it goes to my other folder, whatever, I have an assistant that moves all those to my main folder. My Facebook address for you guys want to write down, fb.com/Chris Record. My name, CHRISRECORD. Record like a record breaker, like a record setter, all right? So listen, this is it. I'm going to wrap up right now. All I got to say is this. NDAtext.com is going to be my opportunity to be able to work with a private group of people on a live webinar. I'm going to break down everything, explain more about the college, explain more about this opportunity, and especially about when I talk about getting paid, I believe that this can potentially be one of the best for you, one of the best sources for you as an affiliate to be able to promote. Now, of course, you know me, I'm convicted. I think it's the best out there, but I don't want to step on anybody else's toes for stuff. I honestly think this will be one of the best affiliate opportunities for you guys to promote. So if anybody here is interested in making money, jump on this private webinar with me. We'd love to do it. I'm that guy who grew up on welfare, Section 8 and food stamps, went through ups and downs as an entrepreneur, got to the point where I figured out how to crack the code and take massive action and be able to build up a business of tens of millions of dollars. And I'm getting ready to go as far as I can to the next level. I would love to work closer with a lot of you. I'd love to get to know a lot of you on a lot closer of a level as well. For me, it's just been an honor to be able to be asked to be invited to be able to speak on an Alex Becker stage. I've watched Alex explode his business. You guys hang on tight, because where Alex is going, you guys know, right? He's going to the majors. So it's been an honor. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate you.